Good evening. Welcome to the Real Talk, presented by Let's Talk. And tonight we will be doing our The Shy Season 7, Episode 1 review show. And this is our sixth review show. Sixth season when it comes to The Shy. We didn't do season 1. And this episode, I guess the first episode couldn't start off any better. Dwayne and Keisha, y'all there?
Yes.
Yes,
I can't hear neither one of y'all.
I heard both of us.
I can hear Keisha.
Yeah, I can't hear neither one of y'all. So the episode couldn't start off any better. It was a great episode, awesome episode on my part. What's y'all thoughts?
Wayne, you go first.
Um, I think it's maybe the best episode of The Shy I ever seen in all the years.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I'll throw it out the window already. I gave it a 9.5. There was only one thing that kept me from giving it a 10. And it was the one scene where Alicia was talking to Rashad and she asked him about Zay. And did he think Zay was capable of killing Rob? My problem with that scene is Zay was working for her to get dirt on Duda. So why wouldn't she think he's capable of killing her son? So that's the only reason I ain't give it a 10, because of that scene. My favorite scene of the whole show was when Nook invited Emmett to go with him and Ronnie on their day. I thought that was great. I thought that was great. So, like two men, putting differences aside for the betterment of a black baby. I thought that was really good. I want Jake to stop acting tough, but getting his butt kicked all the time.
How is Jake such a punk or wuss? I don't get it.
I'm so tired of this young man being a punk after all he done seen in his life.
And he got so much mouth.
Right. I've come to the realization that they're gonna move away from the three friends story. Kevin being gone, Jake don't really serve a purpose right now, and to me, neither does Papa. So they're moving away from that. I guess the girl Gemma ain't gonna be on here no more, because when the Jake to Gemma or something like before he went to Trig, I'm kind of glad Trig's girl or Victor, whatever we want to call her, kind of glad she leaving town. Get the hell up out of here. You don't bring nothing to the show either. Tiff's mother was a lot softer in this episode. Like, she was really there for her daughter. Like, I like Tiff watching Cooley High. I thought that was good. It was just so much about this episode that I really, really liked. But I'll pass the mic.
I also really liked the episode. I thought it was reminiscent of the first and second season. Like it didn't have any bad spots for me. Like Emmett being a little timid, but being Emmett, I appreciated that. The Transformer, I'm sick of the Transformer. I want her to go. Like Nook is confused though. Like, who does he really want to be? He's such a nice guy, but he orchestrated his cousin getting killed. I liked how everyone gathered around Tiff or whatever. The one thing I didn't like is that Emmett didn't want to take in his son. I felt like, y'all remember when Emmett had the son in the park and he was fighting one of the men Tiff was with over his son.
Yep.
So now he don't want to take his son in.
Yeah, that threw me off too.
That kind of threw me off. What's Emmett's father name? I like he had his two boys.
Darnell.
Yeah, I like that part. You know, they talking about women and kids and all that other stuff.
Yeah, that was good.
I thought the episode was great, like Dwayne. Like I'm gonna say this about Lena Waithe, and I know that a lot of people will write what they write into their art because art does imitate life, and it's a part of life and what we see every day. But some of the and I'll say the narrative is not the narrative, is just what it is, I guess. But I really maybe this season I probably didn't look at what I'm about to say. This season I'm probably looking at it a little different than the previous seasons. But I really gotta take my hat off to Lena Waithe. I think honestly, with this one episode, I think she's a phenomenal writer. I really like the way they wrote this episode. I like that they basically this episode basically closed out a lot of storylines. And it closed them out to the point where now we're gonna see what this season's about. It like we got closure on Duda, we got closure on Rob, but now we're gonna see the ramifications of all that. And now we're gonna see how Nook is quote unquote the bad guy, but Nook is also being conflicted with wanting to be a good father as well. So I think that's awesome. I think that I really didn't like the Emmett being scared. I think that now we need to see how Emmett evolves as a character, as evolves as a father, evolves as a husband, and I'm ready for it. I love what Tiff displayed. I thought Tiff,
She's a
she's
better
so
actress than I thought she was. She acted her butt off in this
She
episode.
really did. She really
yeah,
did. It was really
she
good.
showed and I said something to Dwayne. Well, me and Dwayne was having a conversation. I said something to Dwayne, and Dwayne said something so profound about how we look at our black actors. Lynn Whitfield is putting on a performance of a lifetime. And I'm glad that she has been able to do the last series that she's been doing because a lot of times you may not give her the credit because of certain movies, but she's awesome. She's phenomenal
I
playing the
feel
role.
like that Lynn Whitfield is why the episode was so good.
Agreed.
I think bringing her, honestly, I think bringing her and Kadeem to the Shy has really made the actors all step up their game. And with Karuchi, with Wendy, uh, with the other girl coming, and with Felicia Rashad coming, it's really going to make a awesome cast. And I'm really really looking forward to how they're going to do the rest of these episodes because, like Dwayne said, this episode was so good. How can the rest of the episodes match it? This episode was awesome. Like it was everything in the episode that you could expect to start off. Like I said, it really put a lot of storylines. It gave it new direction.
Yeah, I
Um,
didn't mean to snicker, but I just thought about something. These
What?
dudes is all stone cold killers, right? But when you think about it, they all stone cold killers. Nook begged for his life in the first scene, and Zay was definitely begging for his life. These jokers was
Zay
begging
I
for their
like.
life.
Go ahead, Quinn.
it was one scene that kind of bothered me where I think the narrative is getting old where Victor and Rashad
Oh, he was
where
strict
Rashad
this episode.
yeah where Rashad had to tell Victor like yo you ain't gotta look out for me like Victor whole role, and I hope, with him being a councilman and all this changing his life, like I hope his role is going to evolve as well. Because the role to me is getting kind of old. Like
Well,
Dwayne said, they're going away from the three friends. So now you're gonna see we should see other people, other characters evolve. Like where I don't even know if Gemma's gonna be in here. Where's Maisha
well,
gonna be here? It's like they don't serve no
I
purpose no
think
more.
they
well,
are
he,
gonna be in there.
yeah, well, he has to go back to his original purpose for coming to Chicago, coming back to Chicago. His original purpose for coming
Was
back to
Jake.
Chicago was Jake because Reg was gone. So he needs to go back and build that relationship with Jake because Jake needs it. No, when we realize it, and I think Keisha said this probably 2 seasons ago, but it was something that Keisha said that stuck with me. The best male role model for Jake may have been Duda.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Duda
yeah.
invested a lot of time in him, took a lot of care in him. You know, you know, you know, Trey took him in and was still chasing behind Bushy Tail
You know what though? I
twice.
feel like they need to let Victor Trey be with Tracy. That's where I see chemistry. I haven't seen like the original girlfriend was valid. This girl, I don't like her. This transformer, I'm not a fan.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan either. My only thing, I don't think Lena would do that because I don't think she would do that to her community. Like, he was dipping and dabbing, but now he want to go back straight. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But
I think
to me, that's who he had chemistry with.
agree.
Agree.
I totally agree with you. Totally agree. Keisha, I said something to Quentin. This is just an oddity. But would you look at EJ as he's grown up? Does that little boy not look like the lady that plays his grandmother? He looks just like her.
He does, but why is he so big? What they feed
Well, Papa was a little chubby.
No, no, that little boy fat, y'all.
him?
I mean, Papa was chubby.
Keisha, for some reason, like every time you talk, Dwayne could hear you, but you fade out for me. But I just knew when Dwayne brought it up about that he looks like the grandmother, but the little boy need to get on a diet. Like let's be honest here. Like,
Oh,
come on.
Keisha,
Yes.
did you notice that all of a sudden they made the judge and the professor husband and wife? Where'd that come from?
Yeah, I didn't get that either.
I think that was a good twist. I mean, they did just throw it on us, but I thought it was a good twist where you saw the Kadeem Harrison character go and go to his wife who had the relationship with Alicia, go ask like, "Yo, it's a favor." What do y'all think about Bakari? Let's talk about Bakari, y'all. He knows the secret that could blow up everything. He could blow up his potential scholarship. He was there. He
Yeah,
didn't
I feel
prevent her
like
son from getting killed.
that's too much. They put all the pressure on Bakari.
I can't hear
they
you,
do.
Keisha.
No, I heard her. They do put a lot of pressure on Bakari. I agree with you, Felicia. With Keisha, I agree with you. They put a lot of pressure on Bakari, but he's the type of dude. He ain't gonna say nothing to her. He ain't gonna say nothing to her.
Why does Nook trust him so much? Why y'all think Nook? You think Nook see himself in Bakari?
He do. I mean, think about it. It's not even about the trust. He told him, "I want you to be successful, man. I want you to get out of this." And that's when Zay was like, "You want me to get out too?"
What did Bakari say to Zay Dwayne at the meeting?
He's like, "Be safe, Zay." Told him, "Be safe." He
That
told him.
girlfriend told Day, and he didn't
She
listen.
did. She did. Listen, I think. All right, so we know Candy is probably done. Her character's
Good.
probably written
So
off.
I'm glad. I don't want them to bring her and that girl back. I'm glad.
Yeah, you know they ain't gonna bring back the one who was sleeping with Duda and working for Alicia. She's done. Um,
She was
so
scared. I'm ready for her to be gone too. Go ahead.
so as far as who's gonna run the lounge, you know who I think gonna run the lounge?
Tiff?
No, I think
Who?
Dom. I think Dom's gonna run it because Lala has already said she back this year.
Oh, okay.
So I think she gonna be the run the lounge.
Did y'all see Emmy kiss Tiff very close to her mouth?
Listen, I didn't initially, but I had a friend that said something to me that said, "Yo, Emmett kissed Tiff in the lips," and I was like, I didn't even remember the scene till she told me, and I went and looked back, and I said, "Oh, junk, he did kiss her in the mouth." I don't know what that's about. I know she's gonna have a lot of emotions because she.
Did you see she was pregnant? Because Q missed it.
Yeah, I did miss it that she was pregnant. I didn't even realize that she was pregnant. I just
Oh,
knew that Keisha was pregnant.
can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I hear
I
you.
can you know.
All right. Somebody called me on the phone that they took away my thought. Yeah, like, with her being pregnant now, like, how is that going to work? She already saying it's too much for her to have EJ full time. Now she gonna have this other baby. So now her and Keisha gonna be pregnant at the same time. Is Emmett gonna be
Yeah,
the daddy to 6 kids?
that's a whole nother thing. Like,
I think it's weird that they don't talk about Emmett's other kids either.
very rare. Very
Because he
rare they
got
talk
2
about
other baby mamas.
Dwayne. They only talk about him when Darnell want to joke with him about him. That's the only time they brought up. That's the only time the other kids is brought up. And now what are we gonna do with the other what was the brother that came in that said that Emmett's brother sent him to jail, Dwayne? Where's he at? Is he even gonna be in this season? Because they introduced him last year when Emmett gave him the job sweeping the
Yeah,
floors.
who was that? He was a famous actor too. I can't think
Jackie
of
Brown.
who.
Jackie.
Yeah, I don't think they bringing Jackie back.
So yeah, Jackie Long.
Yeah, Jackie Long. Yeah, I don't think they bring Jackie back. He don't serve no purpose. I don't
You
think they
know,
bring
they
it.
forget about stuff like that.
If you look at the promos, you look all the pictures and stuff they showing with these promos, they do not have Gemma included in any of them.
Good. I've been sick of her.
So you really ain't gonna have Gemma, you ain't gonna have Marcus, and you ain't gonna have the other girl that Marcus was dating. You don't see none of them in the promos. You see Lala. They got a picture of Lala when they do a whole wide picture of everybody in the series.
So is Bakari brother sister in it still?
Nope. I don't think his sister in it. I'm wondering what they're gonna do with Lene.
Yeah,
Bakari
where they
dropped
going with
her
that?
like a hot potato.
Sure did.
And
Yeah,
Kevin
where they,
mother on NCIS Origin, so she ain't coming back.
Yeah, he never comes back.
look at Papa. Wonder what's gonna happen with him. I had
What
this
is
set up.
but what's the role for Papa? What is
Yeah.
he? He was just Jake and Kevin's best friends. And now you don't have Kevin. Like, are you gonna put Papa and Maisha back together because Kevin ain't coming back? What you got for Maisha to do? I know
I
last year.
seen some pictures of Maisha. She was dressed nice and looked like she lost a couple pounds.
Yeah,
She looked really nice.
they may put Emmett's brother with Maisha because it looked like they want to keep him around.
I mean, he's a good actor, but I want them to do something with him.
Is this the first year that you, or is it just me noticing it for the first time that Japari got 6? Oh, not Nook has 63, and
He got
Roman,
more tattoos on his face, Dwayne, than he ever had.
right, and he has
He didn't have no
63.
tattoo.
He got 63 tattooed on his face between his eyebrows. The Roman numeral 6 and 3.
Yeah.
63.
That's I think I don't know if it's because of the close ups, but I noticed that his face had way more tattoos than before.
Yep.
And they might be doing it now because I guess he the boss. Well, he is the boss. I ain't gonna guess he the boss.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought it was interesting that they decided to do that. Like I said, Dwayne, you right about that scene with him and Emmett. I like that scene because the way that the show was being promoted was like, okay, we're gonna focus this season on the women having strength. And this episode kind of like was contrary to that portion of that type of thing. I know one issue that I did have was when they had the girls group, having Tiff's mother there seemed so odd because she was never part of their group. So I guess they're going to bring Tiff's mother in more episodes now.
Mm-hmm.
I thought she got a lot of airplay for one episode, which was good. I mean, she's been around. It's the same woman, but I like the way the Yolanda Ross character. I mean, she was integral the first couple of seasons, and like she fell back. So maybe we'll get more of Yolanda Ross going forward. And she's a married woman now and
But she
grandmother
loves
to all
Tiff.
the Emmy.
She's always had a really good relationship with Tiff.
She has.
But I like how Alicia got in the bed with Tiff and was like, I got to be the one to tell Tiff she can't hear from the street.
Yeah, I
So
thought that was
I
good.
think with Tiff being pregnant, that might soften Alicia a little bit.
Yeah.
That'll be interesting. That'll be good for them to, go down
I
that
thought
road.
Tracy did a good job in her limited scenes. When she said, "Me and Grief are friends," and if you
Do
think
they know?
about it, Tracy lost Jason, she lost Ronnie, and she lost Duda.
Yeah.
Tracy's
Do they
lost
know
a
what
lot.
to do with Tracy? I don't think they know what to do with her.
Well, I know what to do with her.
See, knock it off the way.
A supporting gaming, we don't appreciate that. This show is not trash, sir. This show is not trash supporting gaming.
No, this
No.
episode was really good. It was
Yes.
really, really good.
Yeah. So you
So,
guys,
I mean, what do y'all think? What do y'all think is next?
I'm Dwayne. I'm looking forward to seeing now since Zay is killed. Is Alicia gonna be satisfied? Is she gonna be
Nope.
content? Like,
Nope.
um, what's funny is honestly, you guys, I don't know what to expect. I think once Tiff goes through her grieving, Tiff is gonna want vengeance. I think Tiff is gonna know that it wasn't Zay. Tiff is gonna feel like it was Nook that killed Rob. So I'm interested to seeing how Tiff's character goes from the grief to now she may be feeling like, now it's payback time.
How does that affect her and Keisha's relationship?
I think that's gonna I mean,
Because Nook is the baby father.
when you think about it, like Nook is a very integral part of the show now. So
Yes, he
if
is.
Tiff finds out, she's not going to confide in Keisha at all. And Keisha will still try to justify. Keisha, the way they have her role, she'll try to justify anything as long as it benefits her.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the things why I don't kind of like Tiff. I don't
You
like
mean
the role
Keisha?
that she plays. I mean Keisha, the role that Keisha plays, because she's really never really. It's still whiny stuff. I don't know. It's just something about it that the way that her character has developed over the years. But I'm looking forward to it. I hope, Dwayne, I wish they ever got back to, you know, the restaurant being swindled from Smokey.
Yeah,
But
what
they
was it called before Smokey's?
it was Smokey's, right? He changed the name.
It
He
was
didn't change the name, did
Smokey.
he?
No, he changed the name. It wasn't always Smokey's. It was something else. He changed it to Smokey's.
Hell, yeah, I want to know what they're gonna do with that. I can't remember the name, Wayne. I want to know what that storyline gonna be. I want to know if like you said, if they're going away from the kids,
Gotta
what's
put
the purpose of it? I
that
didn't like
decent.
the part. I didn't like the part where
But yeah, I give it a 9.5 for me. I told y'all while I deducted the half the point, I didn't like her asking about Zay when she knew who Zay was.
I forgot Zay was working for her, Wayne.
Yeah.
I'm giving it a 9.5 as well.
And sometimes I think these shows want us to forget certain things.
Yeah, like
But that's it.
does
I was very excited, and I'm a little concerned because I think we can't go anywhere but down from here. But I'm gonna stay optimistic.
Yes, that's why I'm not gonna go that high. I'm gonna give it a 8.5 is my final
mm,
because the shot disappoints me a lot. I was very happy and excited about this episode, but I know I've been disappointed before.
Right.
yeah, I'm excited. I want to see what they
I
do
don't
with
like Simba either.
what now that he's fully in the clear. What are they going to show more scenes at Smokies? Emmett don't owe nobody nothing, so what about the store in New York? Like you said, like y'all said, they may think that we forgot about those storylines.
Mm.
I'm interested to see what's going on. I do think that Trig and Victor, as they call him now, I think him and Rashad gonna bump heads.
Mm.
I don't know why. I could just see them bumping heads and having a
They
fallout.
should butt
I
heads.
think that'll be an
Victor
interesting dynamic that they can do
doesn't
going forward.
respect Simba.
But I really like the episode. I got to give it a 9.5 like you doing. I thought they knocked it out
Yeah.
the park. I only gave one show ever, and it's funny, and that was Power Book 2, the first episode. That was the only show I ever gave a 10. But hey, we do what we do, man. We do what we do. Any final thoughts, y'all?
Yeah. It was called Sonny's Chicken Pit before it was
Oh,
called Smoky.
Oh yeah, it was
damn.
Sunny's.
It was Sonny's.
Yeah. So supporting Gaming agreed with you, Keisha. That's why he gave up on the show. He gave up supporting Gaming said, he supports the review shows, but he gave up on the Shy. Supporting Gaming, believe it or not, we started doing the Shy after season 1. We did season 2. Season 2 is our first review show. And around season 4, we were tired of doing it because they had really went in a direction that just was like, taking advantage of us as viewers. Then when they did that daggone, mystery kidnapping with Keisha, it was like, okay,
Keisha?
like we are going with this. But this episode, honestly, bought. If you are an original Shy watcher, this will bring you back because when you think about it, and Dwayne is the person that made me realize this. When you think about the Shy has been in 7 seasons. For it not to be quote unquote a movie about people dying and people getting killed, a lot of actors have came through the Shy.
Mm-hmm.
A lot. We got Ronnie, Jason Mitchell, uh, his
His
girlfriend.
girlfriend.
You got
Red.
Curtis Cook, Reg. Who else, Dwayne? It's about Ronnie's grandmother. You got a lot of people that came through the Shy. Jake and their mother.
Alicia brother.
Uh, Yeah, you got a lot of actors came through the shot. You got Kevin. Kevin and Jason Mitchell were really the two most integral parts of the shot. They are the only two actors that, up until the point that they left, and Emmett was the only 3 actors that was in every episode. Now Emmett is still the only one holding on.
Yeah.
So when you think about the shot, this last episode really It got back to the roots, sort of say, of that block, that family, that community of people, how all their lives are intermingled.
I like to see
Well,
more of Darnell and Jada's life as a married couple. They don't
yeah.
show a lot of that. You know, they just showed her last year wanting everybody to be as happy as them two. Like she spent last year trying to be Chuck Woolery, but they didn't talk about, you know, Darnell and them in the house, and then Darnell was bringing all the men together and being accountability partners. But what I want out of this year is I want to see the growth of Tiff. I thought she nailed episode 1. Um, I'm a little tired of Keisha and her whiny ways. Um, I want Trig and Jake to get back to that bond, and but it's good.
Well, the thing, supporting game, and I see your question. You said the latest season shouldn't have fell off in the first place. If this recent episode is as good as, like you say, why it takes so long? Well, supporting gaming, I don't write scripts, but I'm gonna just give you what I would think from a consumer point of view. When you're writing these scripts, you have a vision. You have a vision not just for the overall script, but you have a vision for the characters. And a lot of times, you can't just recast characters because sometimes characters fit
Mine.
the act. In case you said something,
Uh-uh.
so
Uh-uh.
supporting gaming, when you to answer your question, when you're writing and you got actors coming and going, and you didn't kill them off the show or have them leave the show, it could be other circumstances why they're no longer on the show. You have to kind of write as they go along, and you can't really get into your book in your lab, your thing.
Is
And
Lena
like you
the
said
only
when you started,
writer?
before you joined supporting gaming, when you got an actress like Lynn Whitfield and Kadeem Harrison, these are what we would consider veteran actors who've, for the most part, been acting on what we've seen for the last 20, 30 years. So when they come on a set, not only do they bring their expertise, but they allow other actors to come into their own. If you, it's a clip that went around. I'll just give you an example. When Jake Gyllenhaal did the play with Denzel Washington, and he's basically saying how because Denzel was on set and Denzel gave him encouraging words, even though he was an acclaimed actor in his own right, he stepped up his game as an actor. So when that happens, when the actors are really in tune with the character and the storyline is on point, they're really to become. Because I never thought Tiff, and I'll just give you an example, I never thought Tiff would be able to play the role that she played because Tiff was always one way. She was a straight shooter, this, that, third. But this, she showed a side of her as an actress dealing with grief that I never thought she would probably be able to play. So if I answered the question for you, hopefully I did. I just was giving you my spin on your question on, you get shows that definitely when a show, for the most part, when you have a series, right? Most series don't last 2 seasons. You get what we consider good shows that don't even last 1 season. So this show was on 7 seasons. So, like I said, even though us three didn't like a couple of the seasons, they still got enough viewership to continue renewing the series. And based off of this one episode, I could see how with viewership, with The Shy being on Showtime, I could see them going at least another 2, 3 seasons. That's how good this episode was and how their viewership should be. Mm. So I
Question:
hope
does Lena write all the episodes?
No,
Okay,
no.
I didn't think so.
I don't think she writes many of any of them anymore.
And I
She like
think that's what the disconnect is.
And that happens. Supporting gaming. like what Keisha and Dwayne is saying, one time we explained how that writer's table. So you may have 10 episodes and you may have 5 writers. Now, you may have the showrunner may be able to tell those 4 or 5 writers, this is my vision, this is the direction I want the show to go in, and I'm gonna give you an overview. But each writer has a different style of writing and how they want the story to be told through their lens. Even though they have somebody there, uh, they got to still do it the way they want to do it. Like, even if you ever notice directors, they say the best directors in movies and on shows are the directors that allow the actors to be who they are. So, like I said, I hope we were able to answer that question for you. But any final thoughts, you guys? We don't have to be
No,
on.
I think we're good to
I'm
end it.
just excited for the next episode.
Yeah, I am as well.
Yeah, hopefully next week we'll probably do our review shows next Sunday at 8, I guess. But we'll see. You guys in the chat on the YouTube side, look for the notification. Like I said, you got to hit the bell. We do a bunch of stuff on this channel. However, our review show, we're going to try to keep it consistent on a specific day and a specific time. This week, we just had a little issue with trying to do both shows on the same day and get them in. But really appreciate you guys. Remember to like, share, subscribe. That's the best way to support the channel and the shows. And until then, you guys take care and have a great night.
Good night.